Oh my God, I am so done with winter. Holy cow. Let's see. We're loading up right now.
I dream of it.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. So we had a storm that originally was supposed to only do like one to maybe like an inch or less was the plan, and then they changed it to 1 to 3 inches yesterday, and it did every bit of what they thought it was going to do. So, like I said, we're firing from the hip tonight. I ended up having to go out and run a plow truck, and that's absolutely no fun. So, poo. But let's get the audio check done here. I'm not even remotely prepared for anything, so that is going to be the theme for tonight, just so you guys know. I'll tell you what, we have seen a huge increase in subscribers over the last several days, which is awesome. So, if you're new here, welcome. Hope I live up to the expectations. If you've been here before, then you already know what to expect. Yeah, it sounds like it's all right. Let's get this out of here. I don't even know where to put you, so you're just going to go over there. That's good enough, right? All right. But yeah, so I think the storm ended right about 1 o'clock. So that's when we started, and I was looking at it. I was like, it's going to be close. That's why I said, hey, we'll do 7. But it ended up being a little bit longer than that. So, really, anywho. Been wearing a beanie hat all day for the warmth. Makes my head itch. Okay, so, yeah. Tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna run out here, and we're gonna jump all the way down to the ground. Because, as you know, we've been spending a lot of time in the deep desert. So we needed to come back to Haga and just make sure everything's okay. That is, we're checking, make sure the building's all right. We're checking to make sure generators are all full, make sure filters are all full, everything's good to go. And we, of course, then decided there's some changes that we wanted to make, just, cosmetic things, moving stuff around. As you play this game, you're going to have a good idea of what you should do. And then it's not going to take too long before the game progresses and you progress to where your good idea is no longer such a great idea anymore, and it's kind of hindering you. And if you stick to it, it's going to continue to hinder you. So I found some of those things were occurring, and wanted to make some changes on it. And I also just like, I don't like this anymore, so I got to figure out what to do with this. It looked cool, and then now it doesn't. So we're going to see what we're going to do about that, but I still haven't come up with that yet. But also, we needed to do some decor changes, and I need to move some things around. But that's what we're going to cover tonight, because honestly, I've been out plowing all day, so it's really hard to come up with super awesome, great ideas like that. Another problem that I have is I'll do something that's kind of, like I said, hindering me, but it's not big enough or a big enough deal that I really need to pay attention to it right away. So I just kind of back burner it, and then it never comes off that back burner. Case in point is in this section over here. Now, originally when I built this base, I built this little cubby area specifically for water and for storage that could be out of the way. This was supposed to be stuff that I didn't need to interact with. So I wanted to put it in a place I really wouldn't have to go that often. And that was a great idea. And I went with a whole bunch of these water tanks. The reason is each one of these water tanks can hold 25,000 milliliters of water. One of the super awesome big ones can hold 100,000. And they both take up one square. But when you try to make some water tanks, let's go to storage. When you go to make this thing, all you need is some steel and some silicone blocks. Pretty easy. For this guy here, you need aluminum, a bunch of it, a bunch of silicone blocks. But those industrial pumps were the real kicker. The only place you get those, you can buy them from Zoe. You get them in Sentinel City, which is up there, which runs slow, and I hate going to. You could find them sometimes in shipwrecks. You could get them sometimes in deep desert stuff. Not many. You'll get like one or two at the most doing it that way. So I didn't have a whole lot of, industrial pumps. I still don't. I got 59. But also down here, these guys can fit, but big ones can't. So I had to go with the small ones, and I just let them go in here. Now, what this has done is that has created a problem. You may have noticed, if you see here, I got a little yellow notifier there. Storage limit, 110 out of 150. You can only have 150 storage items, and that is water tanks and item storage. Sorry. So for the same amount of water that I could put in 4 of these big tanks, I have stowed away in 16 of these smaller ones. So I could recover 12 storage limit things if I finally address this and say, dude, fix this. So that is something that we're going to do. And the reason I haven't done this before is because it's kind of a pain in the butt. I need something to put this water in unless I just want to let it hit the ground, because every single one of these things is full. So the best way to do that would be to grab some liter johns that are empty, if I have any, and fill them up directly from these guys. If I say bring 6 of them, that's going to be 60,000 water, which means it's going to pull this one, because that's what I'm pulling from, but then the rest of it, it's going to get from someplace else. Maybe it'll be one of these other tanks, or maybe it'll be one of the big ones. Who knows? So, you know, in order to do this the right way, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get these tanks and get them to where I want a new tank to be. That cat. I tried to get that cat in here, and he ran away from me like we were playing some stupid game, and now he's going to yank at the door. Hold on. And you're just sitting there being good. Look at you. What? What's up? Huh? Oh, you went in here now. Come here, douchebag. Say hi to everybody. This is the culprit. You all right? Oh, no. He doesn't like being held. But he'll sit in your lap all day long and just purr and have fun. Won't you? Won't you? Meow meow? We don't have our dog in here. He actually has an injury to one of his little pawpaws, so he's sitting on the heated blanket with Mom, full of medicine. Always go after Mom when you're sick, you know. Moms take care of you. But anywho, so it's going to be quite an adventure to take care of these things. But we're going to do it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to move, and I'm going to grab one, and we're going to take it upstairs. Now, here, we'll set it right there. What I had originally done was I had put some of these large tanks in here, and then I just kept doing it. I just kept putting them in here. I was like, this is the water room. This, I think, is kind of dumb, because if something ever happens to one of these walls, and by something happening, it's going to be my stupid behind clicking a wrong button doing something silly. If the environment gets in here, this is a majority of my water supply, so that could be bad. Something about your base. Switch on repair every now and then and just walk around. Everything should be perfect. And everything should be completely healthy. If you see something that isn't, That's identifying a problem. You may have walls that aren't lined up properly. You may have a crack somewhere. You may have run out of power. Things got a little broken. This would be from storm damage. So everything's fine in here, but I just don't want all my eggs in one basket. So I want to split these up. Now this room, when I built the base, I wanted it, mirrored, just because that's good for my sanity. So there's another room on the other side. I got stuck in the door. There is another room on the other side over here. Exact same shape, exact same setup, but this is where I have my generators. And there is one slight difference. It's got this book wall here. I just put books in there. These are all the generator manuals, I guess. But the reason that we have this is because of this. Boom. If I get rid of this little floor piece, you will see that the sand is intruding. When I made the layout, started laying the foundation, the slope of the hill that I'm built on, some of the sand came in. And although I was able to put foundations down, the sand comes through. Now that aesthetically, I kind of like some of that. Like the monastery base has that little rock outcropping comes through, and I think it's kind of neat. But this wasn't. So I decided to just build a wall of books and put some flooring on top of it, and nobody would have ever really known that unless I showed this. And I got to be honest as well, I kind of forgot that this was the reason why this was up here. But we're going to put that piece of flooring back, and this just so happens to be a perfect size for water tanks. So I'm going to put some of those water tanks over here, and then we're going to go over there and do another book wall just for no reason. It doesn't need to be over there, but we're going to make it symmetrical. And we're going to spread some of these generators out. I don't know what I'm going to do with that big boy yet. I haven't figured it out. But we're going to try to get rid of some of those excess water tanks that I had that I just, for months now, have not done anything with. Now, one issue that's going to happen with this is Spice is blowing tonight, man. Holy cow, that one's close, isn't it? Is storm going to hit us? Hasn't said anything, but boy, is that ever screen capable. Yeah, we'll print screen that real quick. Yeah, doesn't look quite as cool as it did. If you hit F6, it makes all the HUD go away. Nope, it's moving away from us now. That's good. But yeah, so why is this here? I'll tell you why this is here. When I was making the video about keeping the power running in your base, I didn't even have one of these, so I built one so that I could reference it. I did save footage for it, ended up not even using it. So now I don't know what to do with it. Just gonna leave it there, I guess, for now. So what I don't want to do is I don't want to make another large cistern and then have these guys just immediately cycle on and start filling it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come in here and I'm going to shut them off for realsies. Right now, they don't have power because there's no need for them to be running. But now they're actually off. And I got to do the same thing to the ones on the other side. I took my helmet off for no reason other than to do it, and I just haven't put it back on. I'm going to fall. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we got 4 water traps on the top. Yikes. Fun and exciting stuff tonight, guys. Holy cow. The trick to this is I got to remember to turn them back on. Place your bets on whether or not Max here is going to suddenly be out of water and not know why. Okay, so now we're good to go, at least by being able to build a tank. So I can build one, and then that will, if I build it, they will come. No, if I build it, then it won't automatically start filling with water. That gives me the ability to at least try to make some changes. But I'm also going to need some of these. And I'm going to need at least 25,000 water worth. I don't think I have any more in here. And I believe that all the ones in here are full. They sure are. Great. Okay, well, we're going to bring this one over here and then go back to the backpack. Now, this is 10. This makes 20, and I've got one on me, which will be 30. So I'm 5,000 over, which means I'm going to be pulling 5,000 water from my supply. I'll be all right with that. I mean, it's not the worst thing that could happen. But that's what we need. We need some water on us now. 2 of them are filled. 1 of them is empty. So we're going to kind of screw up a little bit here to begin with, but we'll be all right. So I'm going to come over here and grab this bad boy. And we're going to take you over to here. I'm just going to drop it right there. That's fine. We go back to build. And we have to go back to storage. And we're going to put this bad boy right there. But I'm going to pivot it just so it's facing the correct way. And we're going to put it right up against that little line. Right there. Okay. We did our jobs right. This thing should stay empty. Perfect. This thing can hold 100,000, so she's got a lot in there. As you can see, we are not generating water, so hooray. So the first thing I'm going to do is deposit all, and now we're up 1970. I'm going to hit the wrong key. Then we're going to come down here to this guy, and we're going to pop you open, and we're going to fill these containers, which emptied it, but it also took a little bit out from somewhere. It'd be really great if it took it from one of the other smaller tanks. Pull this bad boy out, go to demolish. Now we built a new tank. We were at 110, we built a new tank, we're at 111, and now we're back down to 110. I'm going to come up here, and we're going to deposit all the water in it, and we're going to go do this again. And this is what I have to do in order to fix this little mistake that's been hiding underneath the base forever. And I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And it's funny because I'll sit there and play around with, you know, storage boxes and be very cautious about, oh, I can't make too many storage boxes because I know I'm running close to my limit here. Dude, just fix the problem, man. Just fix the problem. So that's what we're doing. So I'm going to grab as many as I can here. Unfortunately, I will not have enough space because it's letting me put 30 in every time. So, oh yeah, I don't need to drop you off. Snag these guys from all the way over here. That is awesome. What a great tool. Last one. Boom. Come on. There we go. Look at that. Okay. So here we are. Got another tank. If you look, we have empty water. So I can do the same thing. I'm probably going to get yelled at for having too much stuff on me though. So we'll see. But, oh. That helps, I guess. Might as well drink it all, right? Every little bit helps. Okay, so it's 24. We're going to fill our containers. come on up here. And we'll get deposit all. Now we're at 79, so we're getting awful close here. This guy should be empty, which it is. Now we're at 109. Now I unfortunately cannot do too many more. That'll empty you. I gotta step away for just a second here. I gotta come in here because we're getting full of items here. I'm gonna put those in the old buggy. That way I could transfer it to any place in the base. So you should be empty, right? Sweet. Boom. But unfortunately, this tank cannot hold enough. But the system still allowed it to happen, so not totally silly. I guess there was enough in there. So we can do this so we could fill these containers, which means I'm carrying a ton of water on me. Go to 6 and smallish, and we're down to 107. So there we go. We got a 3 improvement. That's what we expected. Build a new tank and take 4 tanks, break them, put them in there. But let's see. This thing should be full, right? Yep, it's at 100,000. Now, also, you see we're back down to 1487 because we were at 1587. I made this new tank and then I destroyed 4 of the small ones. So I basically just turned, you know, I went from 100,000 back down to nothing, back down to normal. So I'm still at 14. But we can make another one of these guys. And same thing, we'll put it right up against the edge. And now we're back up to the 15. And I can deposit all the water. 30,000 in it, that'll work. And we'll go get some more of those tanks. This is one of the reasons why I didn't do this, because it's kind of a pain in the butt. But it's my own fault. So like I was saying, you know, in the early days here, I was super excited about this because I didn't have a whole lot of tank pumps, and I had all this extra space down here, and I didn't have to interact with it or mess with it, and I thought I was being really smart. And then I started getting close to the maximum storage, and that's when I realized, not so smart now, are we? It served its purpose because I didn't have the materials to make stuff, but I was able to get a bunch of water. So, boop boop. All right, I'm gonna put you there. Oh, wonder what's different. Guess I didn't get them close enough last. There you go. Okay. So we're going to come in here, we'll tap you, and we'll fill the containers. 6. Oop. Got my fingers on the wrong buttons. Uh-oh. Well, that's a shame, that's leaving that in the floor, so I got to run over. Luckily, like I said, since we turned the roof off, we don't have to worry about crazy things occurring. Alright, so we're going to take that. And I gotta remember we're putting it in a buggy. Well, I got a lot of that material coming back. Okay. Let's go up here. This should take us to 60, if I'm not mistaken. Boop, 60. So we can do one more tank. Well, actually, we'll do one more tank and then we'll fill ourselves up. I guess if I really wanted to, I could just let it hit the ground. That would be sacrilegious, though. We're at 90. I'm going to drop this mine right there because, you know, it's the fun thing to do. Stupid. Okay. I guess we'll just go ahead and detonate that. Cool. And let's go out here and we'll drop off those materials because I know I'm going to get full if I don't. Make sure you're empty. You sure is. And there you go. So we just got rid of a bunch. But this is what I'm going to have to do. And then eventually we'll move some of those generators over to the other room so that we don't have all of our eggs in too many baskets. And we still got a bit of a deficit, so that's awesome. But now we've increased. We went from 1487 to 1512. So, hooray. Yeah, but I'm not going to keep doing that with everybody sitting here watching. But I'm going to leave the water off upstairs. Because I'll continue doing that when, you know, the stream is over. But that's something that, like I said, it served its purpose at the time. Now I need to address it because it's holding me back to an extent. Having water and items and materials sharing the same storage restriction, it kind of blows because, I mean, what else are you gonna do? But as you progress in the game, you're gonna see like an ebb and flow. It's gonna change what your priority is at the moment. And with the bigger storage tanks, bigger boxes and such, you'd be able to move up to where you're making much better use of an individual piece of space. Originally, since I didn't have industrial pumps, smaller tanks made sense. Now they don't make sense, so they gotta go. We did do some changes to the base, and we're gonna go through that right now. Just trying to spruce the place up and things, but we did do some major shifting around, and I'll talk to you about that now. We haven't done anything with this room, but we're going to. I just haven't figured it out. This is all because of this bastard right here. This thing's so huge and you need so much space, and then it doesn't really do anything. It just sits there all flat and stupid. But you have to have a ginormous amount of space. I mean, it's not like the part shows up in there. It just shows up on a storage inventory, and you stick the damn thing in your pocket. I mean, it would be one thing if there was, you know, an actual buggy chassis that popped into this little area, but honestly, this thing could be that small. It doesn't matter, but okay. But yeah, that's why this room's so big. And this made a little more sense when I had a buggy and a sand bike, but I took my sand bike apart because I didn't have enough vehicle space. My sand bike is, I think, over here in this box right here. There it is. I got some fuel cells for it, too. It's a little ground car, a little Mark 5. I might get rid of it. Pop a Mark 6 into them bucks. When I made the carrier container, I had to do something because you can only have 10 vehicles. And I've got 3 buggies. I've got one that goes out in the deep desert. I got this one right here, and then I got one down in the Jasmine area. Got a lot of buggies, man. So I got 3 buggies, 2 Thopters, plus a carrier. So that's already 6. Sand bike is 7. Storage container would be 8. I have another Scout Thopter for attacking people, which would be 9. And then I got a sand crawler, which is 10. So I'm stuck. Unless you take them apart. When you take them apart, it drops them out of that quantity. So if you're at, say, 8 out of 10, and you don't use your sand bike, which is what I did. I don't use my sand bike. I took it apart, stuck it in this box. I still have it, but it's not one of those total. So it'll drop you and give you the space you can. I thought about getting rid of all those boxes down there in the basement and just building another storage container and sticking that bastard under there because it can hold so much. But I haven't completely gone through that yet. But anyway, let's take a look at some of the changes we made. So I didn't do anything here, and I haven't really done anything to the left side, but I did do a bunch of stuff, a bunch of things to this right side. And here we are. Look, I put a tree, and a bench. The bench is crucial to the room. It really pulls the room together. If you watched beforehand, you'll remember that I had the smaller boxes in all of these sections, not the bigger ones. And there's a reason why I stayed with the smaller boxes instead of the large. Let's take a look at one of them, right? This one, which is my LOR overflow, which is large ore refinery, the machine behind us. You'll notice it's on circuit 8. I put my output of the refinery onto circuit 8. So if it ever does fill up, anything that fills up is going to go into this box instead of, if this was circuit 1 and 1 and so was the machine, it's going to end up in a box somewhere and you'll lose it. That really won't matter too much because, you know, like if you're doing something here, because you're just going to use it from your inventory. But if you needed to pick it up and take it someplace, now you got to go find it. So, but this overflow box. But what I want to pay attention to is this right here, 3,500 volume. Got 100 slots, 3,500. Why did it say take all? There's nothing in there. Okay, yeah, 35 with 100 slots, right? And one of these boxes will take up an entire square. You can't fit more than one. Oh, easy there, cowboy. Why is that gun empty? But yeah. Oh, I know, because it's a brand new one. This is new too. No, it isn't. This is new. There we go. But yeah, anyway. So it takes up one floor spot, right? I'm going to come down here because we need a nice big open area, which thankfully we've got one. And if you look at these guys here, this only has 45 slots, but it's 1750, right? Which means 2 of these equals one of the big boxes. As far as volume goes, you're still short on slots, but it'll be all right. You're gonna run out of volume most of the time before you run out of slots, especially when you're talking about like resources like ores and refined process. But anyway, so what I used to do was this. Let's go here and let's build some silly stuff. We're gonna go to walls, and we're just gonna pick a basic wall, and we're gonna stick it right there, right? And now we're going to go to a roof or a floor. Sorry. This floor right here is... This one's a specialty one. I don't remember where I got this. But you'll notice that it's a very low profile versus this guy here, which is the standard Atreides floor, if I could ever make one. And you can see how it's got that little underhang thing there, right? The reason this matters is because you could stack these boxes in a nice little pattern, and then you can build a section of flooring and stack a second row. This actually won't let you do it because that floor ceiling is too high. But if we come over here and we blow that up, and then we go build, and instead of doing that big tall wall, we're going to do a half wall. We can then put this low profile floor right here and right here. And then we can go and I'll just move it since I don't want to actually build one. You can put this bad boy underneath here because it'll fit just barely. Doesn't fit with the other one. And then you could put a second grouping of them up here. In order to do that, you're going to have to make like another section of floor that sticks off this way so you can jump up there. But you can actually put 1, 2, 3 of those. And then you can put 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you can have 7 of those boxes. And we don't actually need... Oops, sorry. We don't need this one. I'm going to leave it, though. If you don't have that there, you can actually go up here and put 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just like in the bottom. But you can actually put one here because you'll be able to access it. Down on this side, you've got a wall in the way, so you can't. So you can only access 7 boxes. But then you have 8 on top. That's 15 total. In the same amount of space as one of those ginormous boxes, you can put 15 of these guys that are half of that space. It ends up coming out to be like 26,000 volume in a simple square, in the same square that you can get 3,500. So it's huge. It's awesome. Problem with it, though, is you're using up... Man, I'm trying to kill stuff tonight. I won't bite. Although you're going to be able to store a bunch of stuff, you're using up a lot of your storage. A lot of your storage number. Another reason why I got in trouble with the 150 limit was because I was trying to be sneaky and get all this extra space in here. So, that is why we had all these small boxes for all of our ores and stuff. It was a holdover from when we were making this happen. And I haven't done that in a long time, so I was like, you know what? We're pretty much only making stuff that we need, and we're pretty intelligent about it. So I went with the large storage boxes once again. I don't have as much space as I did before, but I don't have that many materials anyway, and this cuts down on some of my storage container quantity. Unfortunately, I have to tuck these guys in here because it has the little pieces from the wall. And then I used half stairs. The reason I did that is because if you run up to this box, you can see I could still access it, and when I open it, it opens up into the steps, so it doesn't care. And I have full access to everything inside of this box. In fact, we have to put some of those in there. And I can look up and drop a mine again. I can look up and get access to the one above it. So those stairs help me access the top layer, and that's why the half stairs are in there. Can't do it with full stairs because they cover it, but half stairs will work. I made these so that I have like copper ore storage, and then there's the copper ingot. And then this will be iron storage for the iron ore, and then this will be iron ingots. This is carbon, which if you combine with the iron, makes steel. Here we've got the aluminum and then the ingots. And if you combine that with some jasmium, you'll get duraluminum. So there you go. That's why we did this. And then over here, we have strontium mass, titanium ore, and then from there on out, it's all plastanium storage. 4 boxes for plastanium, because that's what we do most of our stuff with. I didn't like the way it looked. It was really crowded by doing the double stairs, so we did like the corner one that has 2 pieces, and it still serves the same purpose. I can get into here, and from basically almost the top step, I can get into that one. So there we are. And then, of course, like I said, we put a bench, and that is pretty cool. This used to be on this back wall, and then I had just a bunch of storage boxes, and I think this was empty, or it might have been something smaller. But I got to check about moving lights around. I'm not sure. It looks like it's okay. But this is going to suit us better, and it's using less storage quantity, so we'll be able to do other things with boxes if we need to. And upstairs of that was where I had the medium chemical refinery, which I think is the most important machine in the game. You can do so many things with that. You make your fuel cells for your vehicles. You make lubricants for the wind turbines. You make spice infused. fuel cells. So that sucker does a lot. But we came up here and we did kind of a hybrid of that same setup. Again, put some trees in there 'cause it's pretty awesome. Always have to have a bench. Look, we got decorative boxes and well, deep. Okay. This used to be over here, and we used to have our repair machine over here with our garment fabricators. We don't really use them, so we remove them someplace else. And up top here, we have our double death stills. This box here is Corpse 1, and this is Corpse 2. So it's literally just a box. This has to smell terrible. This one's full, and this one is not, because I used a bunch of these guys out in the deep desert, so I gotta go kill some bad guys, put this back. Over here, I've got water supplies. This is some liter johns that I'm not using, the smaller ones, which I should use more often because I don't need to be carrying 10,000 of water. You know, I normally don't stay away from a water source that long, so whatever. And I got some Deuce Ice and Dew Reaper things. Then over here we've got a blood supply storage. I still got a bag with I got to use that. But yeah, we got a bunch of medium, and I think, is there a large in here? No, there's no large ones. It's all just the mediums. But a bunch of medium bags, and then some blood extractors. Probably get rid of them because I just don't use this stuff anymore. But for this, what we ended up doing is I've got silicone blocks when I make them. I forgot to do this down there in the iron storage, but we'll remember it. Over here, I've got cobalt paste, and that is made from flour sand for the silicone blocks. Ethereite storage is for the cobalt paste, and then this is just a box. I don't know what I'm going to put in here yet. But I kept these little smaller ones here for strontium fiber, because that's where you make it, is the chemical refinery, so we'll keep them up here. Spice cell storage. This is for the spice infused fuel cells, and also keep irradiated slag in there too. And here is my medium chemical refinery overflow box. I have this one set up for circuit 6. The other one was 8. So anything that thing makes will pop all over into here. And then here's the industrial lubricant storage. So this works out really well. Got a new carpet too. But yeah, we're just trying to spruce things up. Put some fish paintings up there. And there you go. The left side of the base is absolutely unchanged, except we had to dump some stuff in. Here we've got our large refinery with our little lights to help illuminate it. We got... See, I'm thinking about getting rid of this. So the reason I did that was because for a large spice refinery, you need 10,000 spice sand, and it makes 200 spice melange. I kept this because sometimes in the early days here, I would only need a few melange, like 3 or 4. And I didn't want to have to save up 10,000 in order to make 200 when I just needed a couple. So this guy is not as efficient, but it only needs 750 to make 10. So if I only needed 3 or 4, I'd throw a little tiny batch, because I can make 11 of these, but I can't make 1 in the big guy. But since we started going out into the deep desert and doing our sand crawler by ourselves, melange isn't a problem anymore. So this might be time for this to go. I like the way it looks. It's pretty cool. Maybe we'll keep it for nostalgia. I don't know. But if we do make it go, it'll probably be replaced with extra storage for melange, so we can keep getting more. Because right now, we did use some, but this box is way full. Only have enough room for 25. It's the opposite of a problem, and we're kind of junky up here. This is just weapons and a standard fabricator with some storage for weapons. And then our garment machines came over here because this is where they're going to sit for a little while at least. You know. This little hallway up here has a very special purpose. I don't think I've ever shown you guys this. Look, I got a meeting room. Some murals, bunch of projections, bunch of lights and chimes and stuff. I got a table for me and my friends to sit in. So hopefully someday I'll make 7 friends and we could all sit in the chairs and chit chat and talk away. Yeah, but I don't come in here too often, and I got to finish it. It's not completely done. This is just a little fancy ballroom for me. But the door outside here is where I keep my recycler. My recycler is here by itself, and it stays off because this is a dangerous machine. You can break things that you don't want to break. This list right here is everything that you don't have equipped, but you're carrying. So when you look at my person here, you'll see all this stuff. That was all the stuff that was in the list. Now, you can't break down like ores, you can't break down money, so it doesn't show up. But you know, the little glow tube doesn't come in there. But all this other stuff, and that is how you destroy items that you didn't want to destroy by accidentally just click, 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 click. So I have 2 boxes here. This one is a trash bin. This is everything I want to break up. I don't need this stuff anymore. I have a bunch of these spare 5s, so that'll be fine. I don't need any more blood sacks. But yeah, this is stuff that I want to break up. I just haven't done it yet. And then this one is what I call a safety shelf. And what I would do is I would come in here and drop everything I'm carrying that's not equipped into this box, and then I'll destroy stuff through the recycler. That way, I don't have to worry about accidentally breaking something or breaking down something that was important that I didn't want to get rid of. They don't currently have a way to lock an item to keep it from being destroyed. Oh, excuse me. So, you know, until they get one of those, the recycler is dangerous. But that's why I have this all by itself. I don't have anything else up here because when we're operating in this area, we're focused because that's where bad things occur. And then, of course, upstairs is the hangar, which is, oh, I was going to say has remained unchanged, but it hasn't. This is a big area because we fly around in it. It's a little too big, and it's like wide open. It's hard to light because those are so high that the light actually doesn't start showing up until you get up to that area. And I made a change, which I actually kind of like. It's this one right here. This used to look just like that with the angled piece. The 3 angled pieces on top with the big triangle part. And what I ended up doing was I made this regular size with a regular wall. Did the windows on the sides, gave it blank walls so I could hang up my Atreides banners. And I was kind of happy with the way it looked. And, you know, we'll put some other stuff around and blah, blah, blah. And I was getting ready to change it. And I was like, oh, let me go over and make the other side the same way, which, you know, is very important to do. So that's what I did. And when I came over here to do that on this side, that's why the Thopter's not laying there. Too close to the mountain. I didn't even know this because I came out of the gate making those angled pieces like that. It'll bother me. The only way to fix it would be to move the entire base 1 block in that direction. But I can't do that because if you come out here and you look at those wings where the water and stuff is, these have a little snub nose on them because if I tried to make this straight, it actually gets to the point where it gets to the point where this interferes. It goes off my property. And I can't expand into this one because apparently there's a unmanned camp in here that it won't let me move far enough out. So that can't move anymore. So that's why they're snub-nosed. Also means I can't move it. Thanks, Chopper. Appreciate it. From Argentina. Holy crap. So I can't move it. So I was thinking, these guys here just happened. And they're on both sides. You see that little outcropping right there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing and put an outcropping around this, which means this will have to be windows. I'm only going to use one banner, but I think that'll solve that problem, and I'll be able to sleep at night. I know it's silly, but I'll be able to sleep at night. So that's that. Those are the changes on the inside. I've also wanted to do some changes out here, and I got to a stopping point because I want to cover this, help people understand some things. Number one, we have a slight problem right there. I don't know if you guys could see that, but this foundation block is hovering. So I need to actually put a foundation block underneath this because it's just barely sitting on ground. I don't have to do it, but I'm gonna because it's the right thing to do. But yeah, when I see something like that, it got to be fixed. So now I'm good. Another issue is, if you notice, I spent a lot of time. Let's drop that out. I spent a lot of time making sure that the little 3 dark squares, just for visual. And when I was building this, I didn't do that. And that's just horrible. So we have to blow up those 2. And we're going to build... we're going to build them again. The way you get that in there is you just Alt and rotate it. And there you'll see it. It's kind of difficult when you can see the blocks on the spot in front of you. That's how you know you've got it right. So now that matches. It's weird. Please stop doing crazy things. Okay. But then I tried to build this one, and I can't. As you can see, it says, no, that's fine, but I just want to put block up here. And I also ran into the same problem inside here. I can't get this to go in. The reason that that's happening, if you ever have a block that obviously will fit but doesn't, it's because that wall, as you can see, I put one below it. That wall right there, I guess it's these little outcropping pieces, are interfering with it. If I destroy that wall, I'll be able to place that piece of foundation. But when you do this, you got to be careful. Blowing up a wall normally doesn't cause any problems as long as there's walls around it. But blowing up foundations can destroy everything that's on top of it. And that would be catastrophic. So I'm going to just break this wall. And now you can actually see inside. This is where those water tanks were. When I go to build, now I can put it there. So, same thing's happening here with this wall. I guess it's because of these little edge pieces here are in the way. So we're going to blow that up. Little water tanks and stuff. And now we can build it. But we're going to make sure... I'm just trying to rotate it, but it won't let me do it. Come on, man. Rotate. Can I not rotate it? We're going to fight about this. We're going to fight. Promise you. Why wouldn't it let me rotate? Anywho. Alright, so that's one of the things that we're going to make a change. I haven't decided whether or not I want to go way up, or if I just want to leave it there and put some, like a run around like a handrail thing on there, or not. But you can also see what I was talking about not being able to go too far out before I reach the end of my land. That gets awful darn close. There's the damn rocks. But yeah, so that's just a slight change, but I better be able to fix that. We'll destroy the whole damn base if that happens. And then we got to replicate that same thing over here, which is a little more difficult because we don't have wall space as much as we have because of the height difference. We've got extra foundations right here. So we need a stop there. The hell was that? Oh, let's go ahead and detonate that mine that we stuck somewhere. Just so our skill will reset. What do we got here? We got 3 walls and a foundation. I think we got more. I think we got more on the other side, don't we? Yeah. How is that working? Oh, I know what it is. So we got an extra set of walls here because the slope I think is coming down. We probably should have done the foundation pieces going. Oh, I know. If you go in here, let's go inside. Oh, I hurt myself. If you break this, it's just going to be a maze inside. See? That's what I had to do in order to get this sand berm to not cause me all sorts of issues and problems. Oh, you better go back on. Thank you. So that's why there's extra wall. Gross. I just realized that I never refilled my water, so we gotta be careful. We're gonna start getting mighty hot out here. Okay, one more time. Break. Outer face. Now we can finally go. We need fuel as well? Nah, we're good with fuel. Yep, so that's why that's actually just a fake ground. It's why these guys here are level. It's important. And I want to get rid of the blockiness, the squareness of it. I noticed in the video I made these two guys were not facing the proper direction. I don't like being this way, but it's the way I am. I'll spend a lot of time making sure everything's pointing in the proper direction. Why am I getting crazy warning music? Yes, sir? What? What? Want to say hi to everybody, too? This one loves to be held. Right? Right? Oh, you can't have that. I need you to go do something, okay? Hang out with your brother here. Hang out with your brother. Come on. Let go. Let go. There you go, big man. Do the generators take damage in Haga? If your shield drops, they will. The reason they do out in the deep desert is because anytime a storm comes through, that level 3 storm automatically drops your shields, and then anything exterior at that point, even your outer walls start taking damage in the deep desert. Anything you put in the roof does as well. But the storms here in Haga are not strong enough to drop your base shields when they come rolling through. So I built this. Come on. There we go. I built this months ago. Probably 3 months ago. Maybe 4. Still perfect. Because the shields have never dropped. So I've never run out of the out of power. But yeah. Yeah, it's quite a surprise. You go out to the deep desert and then you're suddenly wondering why all your stuff's taking damage. Level 3 storms will always drop those shields. So, yeah, that's just some of the changes we're going to be making to bases. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do in this front part, but I am definitely going to change it. I think I'm going to widen some things here. But yeah. We just got some issues to fix and some small things to take care of. But that's enough on home building for right now. What we're going to do is we're going to take a short break because I need to go to the bathroom, man. Like I said, firing from the hip. So, and we'll talk a little bit about, ooh, let's get water before we do that so we don't die. I don't want to do that. Let's just drink. Cool. One more room that we want to talk about over here that I haven't done anything with. I got like an office and a bedroom. I can't lay in the bed, but it looks cool. This little box here is what I call a bad day chest, and this has my old still suit that's still good. This is the Chome one now that I'm wearing the Valaris one. And then I've got my standard weapons and some bullets. This is in case something bad happens and I die and lose everything, that I know I can go to this box and at least get a really good start. I should put more stuff in there, like, tools and compactors, things like that. But, yeah, that's the bad day chest. I took a bunch of stuff out of it and never put it back. This is just all the items that you get through the quest lines. Like the Paranoid's Holtzman shield. I don't know what to do with it. This here is just a whole bunch of patterns that I need to use, schematics. And these are all these full sets of armor. So I've got like the Bene Gesserit, the Bene Gesserit, the Trooper, etc. You'll notice down here I've got, oh my gosh, work, stop. You already got me today. I got the Forge set here. I got that from the Deep Desert last week, but I didn't get the gloves. Look, I got a set of gloves. I still have to go to the bathroom, but so I changed guilds. The guild that I was originally part of, most of them moved to a different server for more PvP action and more interaction. And I stayed right where I was because I run the channel and I kind of keep things going. And I really don't want to do a whole bunch of combat anyway. But so I kind of just stayed put. And a lot of them moved to, Arc Raiders until more content comes out, things like that. And a lot of my land rad stuff, donations I was making to get some of these items, like the pincushion boots and things like that, it was just going nowhere because I'm not in charge of that guild, so I couldn't do the voting stuff. So, um, yeah, it just kind of went nowhere. But somebody that I'd met out in the deep desert, he actually shot at me, was talking. He was like, "Oh, you're in one of the same discords as I am." I was like, "Oh yeah," and he realized that I wasn't a mean person, and he was like, "There's still a good number of us playing too, so if you want to join up with it." So I talked to my old guild leader guy and told him, "Hey, I'm just gonna sign up with these guys because they're still here." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah." One guy talked to me about it and everything. Still in good terms with my old guild. Everybody except Donkey. You know what you did. You know why. But yeah. And I don't know, what future holds or anything. But the whole point of the story is I changed to another guild, and I was talking this morning before I had to go out and plow, and they were like, "Oh, we need some of these materials, we need some of this," and I was like, "Oh yeah," and they're like, "Oh, we'll trade you some, we'll pay you melange for it," and I was like, "I don't need melange, it's great." Like, does anybody have the schematic for the forge gloves? Because it's the only thing I was missing, and he did. So I gave him a bunch of irradiated psych that I had, and he gave me the forge gloves. That's what being a guild's all about. Um, so yay. We have to make this though, but I'm going to go ahead and, oh, can't do it that way. I'm going to go ahead and learn the schematic, research it. Boop. And now I'll be able to make those, and we'll have the full set there. That's pretty cool. So yay, joining a guild. It's one of the reasons to do it. Also, I had a whole bunch of stuff that I turned in. Here we're at 11,000. I still got to do a couple more of those. Where's a good one? This one's a good one. Yeah, we hit 14 because I need that light armor swatch. And this one we stopped at 46. I just wanted to. But yeah, I had a lot of stuff to turn in, so that's actually pretty cool. But yeah, so new guild, and somebody was there, and he's like, "Hey, I got one of those." That's why you do it. This room's dark and scary. I don't know why. It just is. This has weird stuff in that I don't understand why it's in there. This is for all the spice-infused items, like the, plastanium dust, duraluminum dust, etc. This one is all sorts of patterns that I don't want to turn in quite yet. In case somebody needs these, I can just give them the pattern instead of giving them the actual item. Whether I want to sell them or whatever. But yeah, I got a whole bunch of schematics in here. And then this is just a strange box. So, all right, I'm actually going to go to the bathroom, and then we are going to go do something fun. I don't know. We'll have to see. But be back in just a second. So don't go anywhere. Give me 2 minutes. Oh my god, that is so much better. I gotta check something here, guys, though. I'm about to be really sad. My god, no. It's gonna snow tomorrow. Another 1 to 3 inches coming. Anyway, that's a tomorrow problem. Today, we need to go do something. I have told you before that you can go down to Shoal and you can go to these different little wrecks that are laying around all over the place. Sorry. And you can get irradiated slag. That's how you get that for your spice generators in case you need them. Apparently the guild could use some. So we are going to do our part. I'm doing my part. And we're going to go and get some irradiated slag. But I've done this a whole bunch of times. It's real quick, real easy. Usually get about like anywhere between 50 to 70. We're going to go in the old ship here. We're going to go in the big shipwreck and see how much we can get in a single run there. It's dangerous because of 2 reasons. Number 1, because it is a PvP zone, so if there's anybody else there, we might be fighting. And it's dangerous, number 2, because it's dark and it's scary and it's kind of a maze in there. And it's a radiation zone, so you can only be in there for a short time before you start to get sick and sad and bad things can start to occur. So what we have to do is we have to go there with our radiation suit on. I'm not going to do the iodine pill thing. We'll be okay. And we're going to run around in there and see what we can find. And got to be careful. Once we get to about half of the radiation allowance meter down at the bottom, we're going to vacate. We're going to have to go pretty far. So I don't know, half might be pushing it. Depends on whether or not we get lost inside of there. And that is a definite possibility. We could get lost. And if we do get lost, guess what? We get killed and died. So I'm going to pop on, boop, radiation suit. Looks goofy. And like I said, we're not doing iodine pills, but I am going to do one other thing. I'm not going to be building anything down there, so we're going to switch to the glow tube. I don't know if you've ever used this, but the glow tube will help light up some of the area. And since it's dark and scary down there, we should be in good shape. I dropped those other leader johns off, so we're back on our regular setup. Here we go. We're heading to Shoal, and we're going to the big scary shipwreck to see whether or not it's worth it. Like I said, I can get anywhere between 50 to 70 going to the outside shipwrecks, and it's impossible to get lost in those because you don't have to go. It's one room, guys. For God's sakes. It's like one room. How do you get lost in one? Well, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't talk crap. It's just possible. But yeah, you can see him. There that big boy is right there. So normally I would go to these little dudes. But it would make much more sense for me to combine them since they're there. For instance, we head into the big ship until our radiation gets to a point where we're kind of concerned, and then we're going to head out. We'd head out towards one of those other shipwrecks, and we would collect it from there, either on our way out or back in. But I want to kind of keep it separate so we know what's going on. But here we are in the radiation zone now. Doing a little research a long time ago, people say that the best place to go in is in the top. Because there's a hole right there. So we're going to do that. But I don't want to leave my Thopter just sitting on the roof. Because if there are nefarious people around, that's giving them, you know, a perfect ID that, hey, bad things are happening. I don't think there's bad guys in here. There might. We're going to find out. We're going to pick up our little glow tube and we're going to head on in. Probably going to put my shield on since we're in PvP and there could be NPCs in here. I don't know. The hell do I know? And we're going to take our little glow tube and we're going to start wandering around, see if we can find some chests. They should be pretty easy to see because they're going to glow nicely. Oh, hey, what's up, buddy? Guess there were people in here. Hey, he's got a glow tube. Might be passing chests as I wander about. And, well, I mean, at least we're finding ways out. Sure would like to find a box, though. Not why we came in here. We're already almost a quarter of the way to having to leave. We haven't had a single one yet. I think we're back in the room we originally... Yeah. Okay, so we just made a loop and did nothing. Ah, this screams intelligent. Hearing squeaks. Is it Muad'Dibs or is it something else? More glow tubes. And another exit. Okay, so this is the ways not to go stream. I'm showing you where you don't want to go because there's absolutely nothing in any of these spots. Wasn't really the intention. Oh, nope. Ah, here we go, our first box. With one. We got one. Craft a personal light. Oh, look, we found another box. That one's got 8. And we're at a quarter radiation, so let's be careful with that. Seven. Okay. I saw that pentashield door. Just jump down here. Oh, look at you. Uh-oh. 1. Again, 1. Am I just having bad luck, or is this what normally happens in this place? Okay, that's the one we opened up a second ago. Sneaky little monkey. 5. Hey, this looks like a bigger radiation zone. We're getting up to half, so that's not good. Purple. 13, that's what I'm talking about. We're get more of those, please. And we're back on one. It should have some money in it, right? Yep. Just a little bit, though. Alright, we are at half, which means we should be working our way out of here. I don't think I know where I'm at enough to, Oh, wait. Is this a way out? Works for me, right? Oh, okay, we're just going to grab onto the wall here. That is not the hole we went into, but... Wait, what? Why not? Okay, well. We're just going to head west. Yeah, I should have brought a hand scanner. It probably would have been smart. Alright, there we go. What are we looking at? 36. I think 2 runs into that ship is going to pretty much equal out going around the horn here. Because I would usually go around and I would have to take that ship, which is out of the radiation zone, in order to not have problems. So let's go back in. Let's hit the wrong buttons. And we're going to go one more time. Let's see what we missed. And I'm hoping we could find like another one of these. There's one. Find another door here. Okay, shield on. Let's pick up our little glow light and we'll go in here. Hi, buddy. Alright, so we've definitely been in this area. Yeah, we've been over here. Yep, we've been this way too. We open that chest up. So I'd like to find out where the key card or whatever it is for the pentashield that's in here. Where that bad boy's hiding. They're not normally hard to find. So that's the way we ran out. Let's go towards the green stuff, right? I feel like that has something to do with it, right? I don't remember seeing a purple area before. Oh, we've been this way. Oh, we've been this way too. There's the purple door, so cool. Oh, bad things. How do I get to the purple light, Caroline? Never mind. Hooray. Alright, so we can go into the purple door now. If we can find it again, because, you know, now we have no idea where we're at. Let's not do that. Did I just run away from it? Alright, when in doubt, go to the green stuff. Okay, that's not the bandit we have. Free. Also a little concerned about leaving this area because I wonder if that resets the band. Hey, bud. Sorry. That's that chest that blew up in our face when we were over there. Okay, let's go this way because this is somewhat familiar. Yay, familiar stuff. It's in here. Consolation chest. With 3. Got a starburst, though. That's nice. 3 more there. Oh, this is where you go. 5. Coming up on halfway poisoned, though, so we gotta be careful. I see you. See your little chest hiding up here. Another 5. I think that's about it, right? Oh, 3 more. Well, that's nice. Sure. All right, let's put you out, and we're gonna fly back out and stop being radioactive. Go west again. We came out right by that stick, so that's cool. I want to see if we keep our door band or not. This would probably be the equivalent of doing a full run through those ships. So, like I said, I would have 50 to 70 right now. I got 58. This is nice. The starburst, that's pretty cool. And this is also nice. But you can get like a Tarl cutter array from one of those ships, and you also can get, I think, the duraluminum dust as well from that ship that's hiding out. Just noticing now our suspensor belt's about to break. I don't think I can fix it over here. Can't ask for a better spice bloom, can you? It's right outside the door. We might have to go get that. Alright, so let's drop in here. And I want to get rid of some of the excess stuff we have. Come on. Like, let's drop off you, and you. I don't need to carry those guys around. Don't need to carry them around either. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put this someplace else. I can't get out the door now. Let's just put it in the Jasmium storage box for right now. So we'll have this as a comparison. That when we went to the Constellation chest, by then we'd gotten 60 a starburst and that. So I'm going to drop into our fun clothes because this area is not in the radiation zone and we got some killing to do. And let's just compare what this is going to end up looking like. I've never seen these people, ever. The bases are running, though. They keep them running. But I've never seen them. Alright, let's go. Oh my. Did they see me? I hope they didn't see me. I'd like to poison some people before we get too crazy. You. Oh, come on. I believe that's the big gunner. So, hopefully he's not real thrilled about life right now. Yeah, it is him. Oh, you sneaky little monkey. I'm going to take some damage, but it was worth it. This guy got jumpy, didn't he? Why am I getting Landsrad progress? I think these are deserters. That might be why. Tell you what we're gonna do, though. Who the hell is that? There's never extra people here. Oh, you know what? I took that shot to try to kill them. You just die. Yeah. Oh, don't fall where I can't pick you up. Yeah, I think that was the one that I took the shot at, was hoping to kill. Because it knocked her down. It downed her, but it didn't kill her, so... I need to refill bodies, so why not, right? Alright, so our main goal here is to get into this ship. Is that box open? Oh, there might be somebody about. Or somebody doing this route as well. So they might be hiding up there, they might be over here, or they may have just come and gone. Surprised this door's not open. And now we're gonna do this. Okay. Now we got a pair of pants. That one is 14, dude. That was a good one. Alright, so that constellation chest was open as well. That means there's somebody about. Somebody has been there and it wasn't us. It's quite potentially just somebody else trying to get irradiated slag, so. They didn't cut that door open, which is kind of strange. Well, they had to have. Yeah, they did actually. Because the constellation chest was opened. Okay. So, in here, we got 11, so we did much better on no time at all, right? We got stem leggings versus a starburst. I think the stem leggings not quite as good as a starburst. And we got about half. I don't know, guys. It ain't looking good for the big, dark, scary ship. I mean, obviously the key to it would be to do both, you know, to stay down in shoal the whole time, because like I said, I would get anywhere between 50 and 70, and I'm already at 85, and I haven't even hit the other ships. And there's the potential of still more chests in the big ship that I didn't find. Obviously running in straight away and going right to the purple band to get into that room, because there was a bunch of stuff in there. There was a constellation chest and at least 3, maybe 4 of the smaller regular ones. So that right there, just to run in there and grab that. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know why that scares me so much, but it does every single time. So I don't know, guys. This would probably have a lot more bearing if there was scary people about. You know what I mean? If the server had a heavy population and there was the potential of meeting somebody in there, might be a little scarier than what I'm experiencing right now. So if your server has a higher population, or if, you know, a lot of people do make it back, why am I trying to do that? The people do come back for the new season, then you know, there's definitely the considerations there. But I would say do them both, but I would go straight for that constellation chest inside the ship. Whatever you can get on the way in or out, awesome. But that would be the main goal. Run in, look for the purple door that you can get into, like you jumped up. You saw me do that. Follow that through its natural course, and that'll get you to it. You could probably, with enough experience and running, get the path down. You could get in there and get out in seconds. And, you know, don't turn your nose up against duraluminum dust. Maybe get a decent pattern out of it, schematic. And of course, like I said, the main chest, the Constellation's going to have some in there. Plus, there's going to be the smaller chests around. I mean, I'm not going to complain about getting 85 here. This was pretty cool. So, you know, there you go. But anyway, I'm going to turn that over to the guild because I don't need it. I mean, I do, but I don't. And that'll help things run. But we did learn something. My advice, go to the big ship. Go straight to the purple armband. Grab your constellation chest. Anything that's in there, grab a chest on the way out. If you want to wander around, go for it. But I wouldn't. It's, yeah, there could be 14 or 15 in one of those regular little chests, but there also could be one. So, as long as you got the radiation suit on and you're surviving, screw it. Spend as much time in there as you want. But I would definitely go to Shoal and hit everything. Hit the big ship, and then hit the little guys on the outside as well. And at that point, if you still need more or want more, siege hop, It's the good thing about Shoal is it's so close to, no matter where you're at, you're very close to the world map. Excuse me. Go out. Exit to main menu. Select server. Pick a different siege. Come back in. You just fly right back in and go right to them again. And you can just sit there and do that over and over and over again. You come back with hundreds. That'll solve your problem of irradiated slag. So, well, there you go, guys. I'm going to call it a night because it is starting to get late, and apparently I'm going to have to go out and plow again tomorrow. It is really hard for me to put into words how it's making my chest hurt. At least it's money, though, right? So I'll keep you guys posted, but to all the new people that are around, welcome. To all the people who've been around for a little while here, it's awesome to see you again. We're going to start making at least one, sometimes two videos every week. We'll get it out there, especially once Chapter 3 drops. I don't know if you're familiar with Chapter 3 or not, but they're going to have basically specialization. You're going to do contracts, like little missions, and you'll gain experience in a specific specialization, whether it's like Swordmaster or cartography or farming. And it basically is just advancing on the skills. You're going to get bonuses in different areas. I haven't actually seen the system for myself. I've seen other people showing it to me, but I haven't seen it for myself. Preliminary, I'm going to basically mix between combat and farming because I mainly do resource gathering, but I also need to start getting a little bit more into PvP. So I have a feeling that Chapter 3 will spike player base, and some of them may not be nice. So I want to kind of prepare for that. You can still minimize that contact by not going to areas like, unfortunately, if you need irradiated slag, you're going to have to go into the PvP areas. But obviously this big ship would be more of a draw than the little guys around. And plus you could scout them out and make sure there's nobody around. I just went to my base because it was so close, but like I said, that chest was open, so somebody'd been there. Do we really have another spice bloom out here? Man, Shoal is keeping it real tonight, folks. Keeping it real. But yep. So I'm going to work on pushing those water tanks over, getting that stuff done. And we'll do some more changes to the base. I still have that whole other side to do. I would expect a return to the deep desert next week. So look forward to that. And yeah, it's been fun. I'm tired and heartbroken now. But thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate it. Like, subscribe, share. All those things help out the channel. Like I said, we went from like 160, 170 subscribers up to over 200, which is amazing. So that is awesome. And hopefully we can continue to grow. But right now we're going to continue to be tired and sad. And we'll be better come Monday. So I will see you guys then. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, I will see you out there. Take care.